Okay, so we'll consider two transactions. Okay, so we have transaction 1 and transaction 2, and the instruction that is going to happen for this transaction is considered as instruction 1 and instruction 2. Okay, so for T1 and T2 respectively. So when these two transactions are said to be conflict, how we'll decide if these two transactions are conflict is based on the conditions. Okay, so whenever you want to find if that particular conflict is going to be in the serializability, okay, so you have to consider these three conditions. First one is you have to check if those transactions are different. Means different transaction in the sense we'll say transaction 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, right? So whenever you have a transaction, it has to be, when you consider two of them, each one should be of different type. Okay, so if two transactions are there, T1 and T2 are there, okay, then there is a possibility that it is going to be like there is some conflict. Okay, so the operations which they are going to perform, the transaction which is going to be performed on the data item, it is to be of same type. Okay, so let us consider A as a data type, okay, data item, and B as a data item. So if both the transaction T1 and T2 are acting on A, data item A, or T1 and T2 is acting on data item B, okay, so then also we can consider there is some conflict. Okay, so another one important one is at least one of the operation, it must be of write operations. Okay, so whenever you have two transactions and they are going to perform on the same data item, okay, and either one of them, okay, the operations, it is going to be either read or write, and either one of them should be write operation, then you can make sure that particular thing is a conflict. Okay, so conflict serializability is there. Okay, so how we can test this? Okay, so this can be tested with the help of the precedence gap. Okay, so for the schedule, how they'll ask in the university exams is like they'll give a schedule. Okay, from that you have to identify if that particular schedule is a conflict serializable or not. Okay, so for that you need to draw a graph and see. So obviously the graph, it is going to have some vertices and edges. Okay, so directed graph we are going to draw, okay, which is going to hold vertices and edges. So V is nothing but the vertices and E is the edges. So vertices is all the transactions that is going to participate in the schedule. Okay, so what is vertices is you're going to have all the participating transactions. Okay, so edges you're going to draw with the arrow mark. Okay, so the set of edges that is containing all the edges Ti to Tj, okay, so it should hold these three conditions. Okay, for the edges. Okay, so if Ti is nothing but the transaction that is executing some write operation on the data item Q, okay, before Tj, if this is the case, you have to draw an edge. Okay, so Ti executes on write Q before Tj executes on read Q. Okay, then you have to draw a line from arrow from Ti to Tj. Okay, and another one, if Ti is executing the read operation on data item Q before Tj is executing write operations on Q, okay, then also you have to draw a arrow mark from Ti to Tj. Okay, the third condition is whenever Ti is executing a write operation on data item Q before Tj executes the write operation on data item Q, then you have to draw an edge from Ti to Tj. If you look into this, though, you can identify that there are two different transactions. One is Ti, the other one is Tj. Okay, and the data item, it is going to be the same data item for all the transaction. Everywhere you could see the Q. Okay, and the final one is at least one write operation is there. If you see in the first one write operation, the second write operation, and third one, it is going to have both the transaction as write operation. What is our condition is, it is we want it to be at least one, right? So this is the condition it should follow. Okay, so here is the testing for serializability. So we are going to draw the graph. Okay, so first step, how do we do this is create a node for each transaction. How is that? We have to draw the node, means like this. See, we have to draw the nodes T1 and T2, or the two nodes, two transaction which is going to be there. Okay, and what is the next condition is we have to find the conflicting pairs, means if we are going to check if there is some conflict or not, right? So this can be done with the help of finding the conflicting pairs on the data item. Okay, so next is we have to draw the edges, like how we saw the conditions. We have to draw the edge, and you have to find the graph. If it is cyclic, then it is non-conflict serializable schedule. If there is no cycle in the graph, then we can consider that as a conflict serializable schedule. Okay, so this is the schedule what they have given. Okay, we have to draw the graph for this, identify the conflict pairs, and then we have to conclude if there is some cycle, then it is going to be a non-conflict, and if there is no cycle, we can consider as a conflict serializable schedule. Okay, so here they have taken the schedule, means T1 it is going to perform some write operations on A, and T1 is going to have some write operations on A, and T2 it is going to have some read operations on A, and T2 read operations on B, T1 read operation on B, and T1 write operation on B. With this we are going to draw the graph. Okay, so draw the edges, and if it is cyclic, we will consider that as a cyclic, means no conflict. Not cyclic, then there is some conflict.